CCR Racing, where we are going over some important preparation for the World Series for the Manufacturers Cup. And we're going to be talking about, this is really going to be an ultimate guide for preparing for the Manufacturers Cup in Grand Turismo 7, and also about making you a faster, better sim racer, and at the same time maximizing those credits we can make so we can afford, I can help you get those dream cars. So the Manufacturers Cup World Series, you don't have to be a world-class driver to get into this league. It's a way to make a few $1,000,000 and compete with other vehicles online with all the chaos and all the dirty donkeys and dirty dogs out there on the racetrack. So catch our lives for that action. But you just need to check out the event schedule in order to prepare and make money. So we just did Daytona, round 2. Now we're on to round 3. It's Circuit de Sport Francorchamps. So whatever it may be, whenever you're watching this, check out what's going on in the Manufacturers Cup for upcoming races. Then we're going to go to the World Circuits. So I want to help you get your dream cars. I want to help cover important race strategies, tips and tricks to get faster laps. Hey, here I'm going from zero to hero, beginner to winner, with the idea that when you find the right strategies and you turn them into actions and you repeat them, you will get better. You just need to put in a little bit of time into your dreams every day, and it's going to happen. Just don't give up on yourself. Just make sure you get started. Think of a novelist that can be stuck on writing their book for years. Really, they just need to start writing that first page. It's okay if it's bad. Put the ego aside, write those first pages. In racing, it's okay to have bad races. That's how we all start. Put your ego aside and put the time in every day. So let's cover all those tips and tricks. I want to get you your dream cars. I want to get you to be faster. Often, beginning of a week, even we're going online and we start off as a complete zero. We don't know the track at all. And by the end of the week, we're getting podiums. Depending on the race, sometimes a lot of podium positions. Some other races where we've gone at least from last to, 5th or 4th. Hey, Francisco, hola, friend, hello. I can read just a tiny bit of Spanish, so I'll do my best. So for making credits here, you want to go to and getting faster lap times. Now, of course, there's always the circuit experience, where you do the circuit experience and you're going to make money. That's one way to make 1,000,000 credits, and it's in the 911. I love the 911, so that would be one way, and I do want to come back here and gold every section of this race before the World Series. That is your fastest way to make 1,000,000 credits. But I feel like racing with other cars, and I want to race with the car I'm going to be using in the World Series, the Manufacturers Cup. So you're going to go to the PP no limit here, 5 laps at the GT Cup GR3, and you're going to want to throw off the car you're going to be racing with. And we're allowed racing hard, so just throw on those racing hards, because Gran Turismo believes that we like to be a virtual mechanic. And yeah, we're boosted up. If you want the race to go a little easier, there's PP no limit, so that means you can throw on a bigger turbocharger. These race cars, you can't do a whole lot to them, but for tuning, you can go and buy a high RPM or mid-range RPM turbo for them. So you get the high RPM turbo or the mid-range RPM turbo, and it's 5 laps, so it's pretty quick. And it's a race we need to get good at for the Manufacturers Cup to try to ideally make more than 2 million. And now for settings, you can definitely go into the assist settings. If you're having a whole lot of trouble at first, it's okay to slam the training wheels on. You can put the course outline, the curb or turn outline. You can put the braking zones on. So just to show you, under assist settings, traction control, I don't feel like spinning out, so I've got it at 2. Yes, I would be faster at 0, but I need to learn the track first. So right now, that's highly recommend counter steering assistance. Leave it on weak, because at weak, it'll help you with the cars constantly banging against us when we're playing online. Now, you can go in and do your brake controller and put the brake controller on these mid-engine vehicles to -1 or -2. I like to run at 0. I find that's fine. So generally, big old basic tip. We need to try to use the whole track, sorry, moving things around here. You need to try to use the whole track, so you need to go from the complete outside to the apex. You gotta hunt those apexes. Here, when there's no traffic, you're gonna wanna fly through here, throttle down the whole time, but in the correct gear. Now, online, there is an advantage to following closely behind other vehicles. So, pro tip, do it. You're gonna go faster, but be careful. You can be following so closely that you don't see the track and you don't see your brake point. So there, I didn't, that's an example. If I'd have been following closely, I would have really missed my brake point. So first few laps, always good to take it. Hey, just gameplay. So I'm thinking either, sorry, I was reading and driving. Don't text and drive, folks, in the real world. Sim racing, you only go off the track. And we see we already got a bump. So it doesn't take long. Doesn't take long. I wasn't driving defensively. To drive defensively, I highly recommend you've got the radar on. So now let's officially get this started. We got our radar on at the 50. When you're going full speed there, you're gonna brake at the 50. Even going, you know what? I'm just gonna start this race over. Start it over, be back in the middle of the pack. The goal is to learn the track and get credits. And I wasn't getting in the position to earn the credits by the end of only a short 5 laps. So here, full braking at the 50. Good to be driving manual. Very good to be driving manual, because what is going on with me today? I'm not starting this live off so well. Always good to be using manual, because you can downshift and use engine braking to slow down the vehicle. Here, from the outside, over the apex. And for whatever reason, the Ferrari is having trouble on the apex. I usually drive this with the 911, and I'm scared for worried about the Manufacturers' Cup coming up, because this Ferrari doesn't look like it is handling the apexes or the rear wheels on the outside candy canes all that well. So, last try. Sorry for this, folks. Sorry for the start over. So yeah, you're going to want to follow behind vehicles, but do keep in mind it's easy to get mesmerized and no longer look ahead of the down the track, and you really do need to make sure you don't miss your brake points. So I can't believe got taken out by AI in the corner. Surprising, but we're good now. Mentally, I'm here. So normally start braking at the beginning of that candy cane. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful for the Manufacturers' Cup. The Ferrari is doing a lot of spinning and sliding when it's on the candy canes. If you want to avoid that, a much more solid mid-engine rear-wheel drive vehicle would be the NSX. So that'd be a great car to run and get credits with, because it corrects a lot of driver errors. Now, if you prefer the front engine rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive setup, but engine in the front, you're gonna love the Nissan GTR or Subaru BRZ. Great, easy vehicles to control. Now, back to the mid-engines. Very fast, but very hard to control is the Lamborghini Huracan. Huracan on many tracks finished like a world-class finish in regards to lap times, but it's for many a Huracan. You really got to put the time in to learn the Lamborghini. It's very fast, but a bit of a harder, one of the harder vehicles to learn. The 911, some people say it's easy. I think it requires a bit of its own driver style. The Porsche 911 has the engine behind the rear wheels, so there's a ton of weight on the rear wheels, so it's one of the best vehicles for grips coming out of corners. It's a great car. Just gameplay, I'm running the hot spicy, 4 spicy beans. I'm in the Spicy Bean AI League, just practicing, getting ready, preparing for the Manufacturers' Cup. So the difficulty is easier than what it's going to be online, because there's less, it's less of a war zone. You really got to watch, keep an eye on your radar. Now, my TV is actually too big to keep an eye on the radar in an intelligent way, so my TV I overbought in size, so that wasn't intelligent. Because to look at the radar, I either have to I have to take my eyes off the road or even turn my head. So you don't want that. You want a monitor that really fits into your field of vision. Here at the candy canes, right at the candy cane there is normally when we brake. I was worried the AI might start braking earlier, but no. They're more predictable than your racers online, which their brake points can be all over the place, and you really gotta be ready for it. But what's nice is the AI doesn't smash you in straightaways. I got a little push there. So first gear for rotation on the slower turns. Go to the complete outside, brake, hunt those apexes. We want to be apex hunters. Hey, Hobo Star, what is up? You don't need to downshift to fourth through Eau Rouge. Stay in fifth and just lift slightly. Awesome. Thank you for that pro tip, and that really is a pro tip. That is literally how the pros will describe it to you. So thank you very much. Very cool of you, Hobo Star. You know, I love it when people in life, you always have two paths to take. The kind path and the unkind path. He could have said, hey, you suck, you're an idiot, you went through there in fourth. He could have said that. But is that really going to make his life any better? And it certainly isn't going to make my life any better. So why not spread a little kindness into the world? I truly believe, and psychological studies will back this up, that being positive, having a positive attitude and outlook will make you happier. Your brain will release more. Oh, good thing I wasn't on the gas there. If I'd have been on the accelerator, things would have gotten shakier. At the 100, full out braking. And the AI being dirty, this is a surprise. Did Grand Turismo 7 Polyphony Digital get tired of people complaining about them doing nothing about online racing? Yeah, Hobo Star, I love it. One of the slogans I often say for this channel is, let's learn and grow together. Let's be a community that helps each other out. Heck, you can be a world-class driver and still learn from watching other people's mistakes. Muscle memory has probably made it so that you would almost never make that mistake. Should have been through fifth there. As mentioned, Hobo Star, that was the right point. I didn't quite set it up properly. But yeah, we should all be there to help each other out. Fellow racers, we all share the same hobby or sport. So why not be helping each other out? Why be at odds with each other? Just seems silly to me. Why not learn and grow together? And we've got an amazing, very blessed, we've got a great live community here at night. We usually get a few pros that come on, A drivers and B drivers, that give great tips, and I love to see that even on a Sunday during the day. We got new people coming in like Hobo Star giving a fantastic pro tip. Really appreciate it, buddy. Now, some cars will want to be shifted right as it's at the end of the red on the RPM or beginning of the blue. Bit of a mistake made there, a lot of a mistake. And other cars like to be revved out, and not always to the same amount. Like the Ferrari here, 458, wants to really get revved out in fifth gear, but less so in first and second. So you got to learn the car. The best online car or the best overall car in the game is the one that you're the most consistent with. Now, as you get traction control closer and closer to zero, and especially when it's at zero, you're going to want to take something important into account, and that's that when you come out of corners, laying on the accelerator real fast and hard will spin the car out. So you might as well start practicing laying into it slowly. When the steering wheel is turned past about 5 degrees, I'd say, 5-10 degrees. So you can brake right up into the apex, but you need to be doing quarter or at most half braking as you move to the apex. Otherwise the car, it won't steer, it'll just slide out. So go from the extreme outside, rotate in, Being in a low gear definitely helps with rotation. The gear that the game suggests to you is the gear that the car is going to rotate on. But you got to be careful pulling out of the corner, because if you're in that gear pulling out of the corner and you have traction control at 0, you're going to slide out. There, that was a lot faster than other times. That's starting to be a bit better of an example of how to go through there. It's not a prime example, it's not ideal, but the line was decent. The speed just was a little slow. So hunt these apexes, use the whole track. Still have lots of positions to climb in 2 laps. What's nice at least about the hot bean races, they're not the best way to get credits, because unless you're quite good, it's not a guaranteed first place. The endurance races are all basically all guaranteed first places, because you can tune down your vehicle. So for the easiest credits, take a GR1 or GT1 car, like the Nissan, the Porsche, the Mazda, the Mercedes that I've been showing in the Act Fast videos, what cars to buy. So we should be shifting into 6th just as you come around the pit entrance on the Kimmel Straight. Yes, that's right. Great pro tip. If we've got the right speed, right as was written in the comments, in the live chat, just as we come onto the straight, we should just be shifting into 6th. That's how you know you had the right speed through there. So yeah, racing in the hot bean or hot chili pepper races will help you be faster, because you got to push it more and more to keep up and to try to get it first. So you'll learn and you'll be forced to push it, but you might not get as many credits. Ooh, just making it in here. A little late on the braking. But if you do endurance races, they take longer, but they are pretty much a guaranteed big credit farming method. So here it's 1 hour normally if you do the endurance race, but you're going to get first. Just make sure you've bought a pair of wet tires. Hobostar saying playing ACC made me faster at, okay, probably the rest of that says Grand Turismo 7. Sorry, I don't have my phone. Normally I check my phone for the live chat. So let's try to nail this through here. A little off. And just a little slow. Ooh, AI hitting. Special. And then here, I believe it's the 100 marker. And we can brake right to the apex, just not full braking, otherwise we won't be able to steer. You gotta be careful when the steering wheel's turned and you're hard on the accelerator, because you can start to slide out or spin out. Mid-engines love sliding out, but they grip incredible right into the point where you slide out. And this Ferrari 458 has one of the world's best engines in it. Flat plane crank, V8, high revving in the Ford Mustang Shelby GT350. It'll actually the red line starts at 8,250 RPM. So flat plane crank equals high revving, unique sounds. Very collectible. And we have one over on our channel, Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. It's one of the channel vehicles, along with 2 Porsche 911s and a 1991 Toyota MR2, a full-out JDM right-hand drive that's been pretty much almost 100% rebuilt with new parts. So check that out. Has a Lynx G4 standalone computer to manage everything. AEM gauges, new shocks, new wheels, new tires, some new paint, a new engine. So right there, if you got the right line, you can drive all the way through, accelerator, pedal to the metal, pedal to the floor. So here, hunt this apex, and now we got a much better line through here, there. So practice 1 isn't going to give us many credits, but it's going to help us be faster and prepare for the Manufacturers Cup. So ideally, I could have gone for the easy credits with the endurance race, but I don't want the easy credits. I want to get faster and get some credits. So I'm going to need to rinse and repeat this about, I'd say we should do at least 25 laps, so at least 5 races, and that's how we're going to get faster and faster. We need to get well below a 224.7, so we're still way off in time. Each lap needs to be about 6 to ideally 10 seconds faster. Hobostar bringing out an amazing point. Every lap raises your racecraft and racing IQ. So true. It's wild how I'm very much one of the slowest racers online, if not the slowest. I'm a turtle. I'm wearing the hat. I love fishing, but I'm wearing a green hat. I'm a turtle. I'm a tortoise. But I often, nonetheless, do pretty decently by the end of the week just by driving smart and safe. So I'm constantly trying to learn the course, test new things out, and one great way to really learn the course perfectly is load a ghost. You load a ghost and you follow a world-class driver. Just make sure your settings for the ghost is that they reset every sector, so you don't completely lose it. So I'm going to capture this thumbnail just because it's a nice little mix of cars there. And I'm going to throw in, I want to see everything that Hobostar is giving out some real pro tips here. So I want to catch this. I'm going to open it up here, take a moment. So we are going to retry that because that's the key, and we'll see how just rinse and repeat in racing or in life for whatever challenge you're trying to take on is going to make you so much better. It's just about perseverance. You have to take your ego aside and admit that you're going to look a little silly at times. Heck, someone who is one of the best stars in university, whatever sport, will go off into the pro league and look a little silly at first. Or you can be the best, high school footballer, tennis player, whatever it may be. You go into the university level and you have to start at the bottom and you're the worst. So let's see what Hobostar, because he's been giving out great tips here. Hobostar saying, don't worry about other people's times, just focus on getting better and being consistent. And he says looking at top times is very discouraging and unrealistic for most. So true, and a great point that I didn't think to point out. So I'm really lucky to have you here in the chat. Amazing points. Hobostar is saying being consistent on the racetrack is much more important than any hot lap time. I love it. I'm going to throw some hearts out at your comments. Fantastic. So the fastest and the best car, whether you're racing World Series, whether you're racing against the AI trying to save up for your dream car, the best car is really easy to know. There's the silly way where you just go and you see, okay, lap time, who has the fastest lap time, what is the, top 10, what's that consistent car up there? But here's the problem. You might be horrible with that car. I'm horrible, absolutely horrible with certain cars. The Ferrari isn't my best car. The 911 is usually my best car for lap times. But you can look at the track and say, okay, this is what people are getting their best lap with, but I'm not good, or I just don't want to drive Genesis. Oddly, very often near the top of the list, that Genesis. The best car is the car you're going to be consistent with. So let's try that one last time here. Get the gloves on. It's cold in the basement. We're in the winter months up here in the north. So there's the JCCR Racing livery made by Aussie Bug, my mate in Australia. If you want to check it out, just go under search JCCR OP, and you'll see all the liveries for all the cars. So already, you see, I didn't make the mistakes at the beginning of the live of full throttling it on the curbs, the candy canes. I had to go through failure to learn that the Ferrari on this track and the candy canes, I gotta watch out. So fifth through here, and at the end of the straight, had I gone proper speed, right about here, I think, right about here, I'd be shifting into sixth. Now I'm shifting in sixth about 3 seconds later because I took that corner. Carrying speed through a turn is very important. Getting the right lines, you can be back on the throttle sooner, so important as well. Already going a lot better than last race. So track IQ, race IQ, so important. Put it in first, get a little more rotation here. Oh, someone decided to not let me back on the track. Mind you, I'm not playing in VR, so I can't do that quick. I can do a semi-quick search to the left and right. So you can brake all the way to the apex, just not with your foot fully into the brake pedal, because you won't have any steering when you do that. You can be about half brake or quarter brake into the apex. Little slight braking to correct the direction of the nose. So Hobo Star saying carrying speed through the turns is the only thing that separates us mortal men from the aliens. Yeah, it's crazy. The world's fastest players carry so much speed through a turn, and hey, you gotta have a pair of stones for that. Really, here I've started getting used to. I know that if I put it in 6, I'm likely gonna slide through. But yeah, just hold it down. If you've got the right line, you're gonna make it. At the 150, nope, too early. So I guess I should have gone all out just maybe a little before the 100. But just like in life as in racing, you gotta try, make mistakes. It's careful braking and acceleration. Absolutely, Hobo Star, we gotta be careful with the braking going in and try to get just the right point. Drive often quite far into the turn and then turn in. Ooh, when I start to slide like that, I upshift. Yeah, it is easier said than done, so true. So here, gonna try to go through in 5th. There we go, much faster. Get the car as straight as soon as possible, or minimum wheel turn. There we go, much faster than any of the other times. Race IQ going up a little more. So I saw that I was going to lose it, so I had quarter braking in, or tried to with my pedals, and kept the gearing low. At the candy, beginning of the stripes, start braking, accelerate here, quick little brake and turn in. And when you got the right line, you can really be back into the throttle so much sooner, meaning your overall average speed on the track is much higher. So Colin Gibbs saying, I took time taking TCS off too. Yeah, didn't want to change too many things at once. Same here. So true. Great points. I originally started with traction control on 5. So, oh, Dr. Loading, howdy, ho. So Colin, thank you for being in the chat. Dr. Loading, thank you for dropping some information. I'm gonna catch it either on a straightaway, off my phone, or once the race is completed, follow this AMG, let him break win for me. No, it's not a smelly experience, but it can turn stinky, whoopsie doopsie, if you're following so close like this that you can no longer see the track or its points. So that is a bit of a danger. Had to let go of the throttle, no choice, but when you do it just right, you don't. So a quarter before the 100 marker seems to be a good spot, safe spot to start braking. The Ferrari loves to be revved out, just like the Porsche 911 and the Acura, and the Honda NSX. So I'm gonna go wide to get a good turn in here. Get back on the slight throttle early, then into full throttle. Diagonal cut the track. Try to straighten it out, you could say. From the wall to the apex, staying in 5th on an incredible tip we got from Hobo Star. I'd forgotten about that. I'd watched the video from a pro, watching Rory Alexander, if I recall. Guy's fantastic. Super GT, also watch him a lot. Fantastic. At the 100. Getting a second for the rotation. And very light on the pedal while I'm in second. Traction control still on 2. It's my last training wheels, you could say. But just a month and a half ago, I was full out training wheels, I was pretty much more or less kind of just starting. I say kind of because I had raced for maybe a month or two a year ago, a little over a year ago before my daughter was born, and then put the steering wheel down for a year. At the 50, quick double downshift. Starting to take that better, much quicker than the other rounds. At the 50. Now the Ferrari, if you're too quick releasing the brake, the nose is going to jump in the direction you're pointing the steering wheel, and that's why the best car is the car you're used to. It's the car you can get consistent laps with and not do that with. Still learning to drive and talk at the same time. For some it's easy. For me, I find it's an acquired skill. Little rocks on the tires, got to be careful. It's an acquired skill because you have to be concentrating on what's gonna come out of your mouth, what is coming out of your mouth, and the track itself. Gets easier once you have the track memorized, but at this point, a little harder. Real careful with the Ferrari on the candies there, not to throttle down. Came in just a little too hot, missed the drive line. Drive line generally being going from the complete outside and hunting that apex, and driving over the apex. As a general rule, because some apex, you drive over them and they're raised, so they'll spin out some cars. I did that on Suzuka circuit, on the quick, short little double turn in the middle of the track. So go through here in 5th. And should have been back on the throttle sooner, but just didn't have the brass to do it. Now here, right at the lines, the braking starts. And if you're using a controller, great, no worries. Just make sure in using a controller that your brake and accelerator are on the triggers, so you can do partial throttle and partial braking. You need to partial brake to the apexes, and coming off, you need to do partial acceleration. Quick little tap of the brakes there. Love manual, save myself there by just dropping down, no braking so I don't spin out, just a quick little gear drop. Carry some speed through there, try to at least. So we need to race over and over Spa before the Manufacturers Cup. So we've practiced a bit of the whole track, you know. Just there was a learning experience. We went on the candies, and I saw that if I would have been hard on the throttle, that would have been a spin out situation. And now I'll know for the online race, the all-important World Series. So from the complete outside to the inside, back to the outside. I slightly let off the pedal. I chickened out, but getting better. Oh, carried more speed through than normal. I guess I was going faster, so I need to start braking earlier. Did not incorporate that into the driving. Now that corner right there, watch out when you're online. Make sure you know what's behind you at first, because people are going to drive into you and push you off the track. And if you see there's a big pack of wolves or sharks behind you, protect the apex, and I'd say go in not on sort of the opposite of an ideal line of going wide and cutting in over the apex, and maybe hug the apex and just do some excessive braking, defend the apex. Getting a little practice with the correcting my errors. But I gotta mentally note the Ferrari is not liking so much jumping any curbs here, so I'm gonna be careful for that in the online series and as I try to get credits. So not taking, I find a much easier vehicle for this track would be the NSX. So if you want an easier car to drive for the World Series, go with a Nissan GTR or the NSX. The 911 is easier on this track. Subaru BRZ also easier. Lambo hard but fast. At least those are my personal observations. Let me know what yours are in the comments. We'll learn and grow as a community, because we all want to go from zero to hero. Some of us are further on that journey than others, and I really appreciate when those that are drop their comments and give helpful feedback. Full speed, keep it in fifth here. There we go. Getting higher. We got to start consistently getting first. So the next pack of cars, the top four, were all huddled together quite a ways down the track. So let's see what's going on in the live chat. We've got an excellent live chat community. Thank you so much. So Colin Gibbs saying, I may look at the fast times for a rough guide on braking points, but as they carry more speed, they're unlikely to be the same. Good point. That's true, yeah. I think they really help with track limits on where they can be pushed. Yes, where they can be pushed without penalties or without spinning out. Hobo Star saying, oh yeah, I'm not saying don't look at top times, but if you're looking at alien times, don't get bummed out. Really important. Carrying speed through turns is the only thing that separates us mortal men from the aliens. They carry vast amounts of speeds through every turn. Yeah, they absolutely do. So 224, still a ways off. We're going to work towards that. Still making more money and less frustrations than if we're online. And right now we can't practice this race really. And well, we can practice it, but there's no cars and absolutely no money. And Colin Gibbs saying, I took time taking traction control off too. Didn't want to change too many things at once. Recently on the weekly TT at Daytona, I was way quicker on traction control 2 than 0. On that occasion with given car, yes, and I raced Daytona, and every time I raced, I saw someone spin out because their traction control was at 0. So they're pushing themselves and the car beyond their limits, and they took themselves out of the race. Dr. Loading saying, how confident do you feel to drive with some of the assists off? Because that too can make you faster. Yeah, I got all the assist offs except counter steering at weak to help deal with all the online donkeys and dirty dogs. And I've got traction control at 2. Certain cars, GT4 cars, I put the traction control at 0. The Porsche, the NSX, I think drive at 0 or definitely 1 because I've got no issues with the NSX, but that's not the car, the manufacturer that I chose. And Colin Gibbs saying, taking traction control off helped improve my throttle control, and after a while it becomes more natural. Absolutely. I love the comments, folks. Thank you so much. This has been an excellent live with incredible pro tips from the live chat community. Keep those comments up. Thank you so much, folks. This is Sunday here, so it's a bit of a family day. So I've got to catch up with the family, but I very well probably will be doing a live at my regular time, starting right around, always starting between 9 and 9:30 daily, including the weekends, unless there's some sort of big family occasion going on. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. Really fortunate to have the help and support as we go towards our dream. We want to have a part-time business with this gaming channel, as we already have a part-time business with Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, but we want to get JCCR up and running. And if you subscribe, it's totally free and really helps us out by subscribing, and you're in the first 1,000 subscribers. You're part of the JCCR racing crew. And you can even get the livery if you want to be one of the drivers for Team JCCR. racing, you just download the JCCR OP under content search, and you'll see it's available for different cars, made by Aussie Pug, my mate in Australia, very kind, fantastic friend, and you can start racing that livery. And until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power, and hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car that you love sometime real soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. Hope you all have a blessed week. Take care, folks.